Okay, so now we're going to look at how we initiate some wrestling sequences with our jiu-jitsu. So I'm going to start with the bottom side control here. Nick's got a cross face and an underhook on me. So I'm going to look at quickly how I'm going to create some space from this position. So I'm going to use my right hand here to relieve some of this pressure from the cross face, holding in tight, anchoring my elbow to his hip to give myself a bit of breathing room. I'm then going to reinforce it with my left hand. So it sneaks in here, cups his shoulder, and I've got this nice frame here with my left arm. I can then relinquish this with my right hand and come down and block Nick's hip. So I've got another frame here on Nick's hip. I'm going to use these frames and bridge in and turn into Nick to create this space. Now, a lot of the time, people will use this space to get their guard back. Instead, I'm going to use this space here to turn in and grab a single leg. So I'm pushing, swim this hand underneath, and take my head right to Nick's belly button. So I've got my ear to his belly button, grabbing the gable grip. And it's very important here, I don't stay on my hip. I need to get to my knees as quickly as possible. As soon as I get to this position, I'm going to squeeze and pull Nick's right knee in as tight as I can, whilst keeping this pressure and this strong head position into Nick's belly button. From this position here, we're going to look at a few ways to finish this position, depending on how Nick reacts. So the first one here, if Nick's not got an underhook or a whizzer on this arm, it means I can just swim this arm up, shuck out, and look at taking his back. So the majority of people are going to whizzer or overhook that arm, which negates that option for me. So the first one I'm going to do, Nick's knee is right there, yeah? So I'm going to relinquish this gable grip, still pulling Nick's knee in tight, and I'm going to grab his knee just to cup it so it can't escape me. Now from here, I'm going to drive through and put Nick on his back. Usually I'm in a good position here to get past the legs and start initiating a pass. So from there, I jump fast forward right into this position where I've escape side control and I've turned in here. Option number 2. Nick's posting on his leg there. Shuts down the option of the knee tap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to square up with him a bit, turn in using my head, and my right hand is going to cup his ankle, his right ankle. And I'm going to use this, pull in with his ankle while driving my head back to take him here. From here, what I like to do is I like to shelve the leg and walk Nick back using the leg drag position. Another option from here, again, I'm deep in on this single. Now Nick's reacting by pushing my head down low. This makes it very difficult to turn in to him to create any pressure. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drive my head and turn the corner here. I'm going to post on my right hand, holding this in tight, and lift Nick up here. When I get him here, I don't need this post. Push the knee over your head and finish in the double leg position. Again, what I like to do here is walk Nick's legs away from me to get to that leg drag position. Another option, depending on how Nick reacts, is as soon as I pull in, maybe I haven't been able to squeeze this knee in as tight as I've hoped, or maybe Nick's seen it coming and he sprawls on it, meaning I no longer have control of his leg. What I like to do from here, I use the space he's created by sprawling to sit through. So I take my head, swing it out. I like controlling with the inside of my leg. Once I've sat through, I turn into Nick here. Yeah, if he goes to his back, I'm going to chase him and finish that sequence. One last option that I will do if all else fails I've grabbed here, Nick sprawls and I've lost his leg. If he's posting strong on my head and he's got a strong whizzer on me, it makes it very difficult to try to turn in and wrestle. I will grab his knee here, and instead of trying to wrestle, I will accept the bottom position, sit into guard, and I go straight into my sweeps. So, a good position to get to from initially what was a bad position, and I can start initiating some wrestling and take my opponent by surprise. So you get into a very strong wrestling position. So even though your opponent may be a better wrestler than you, you're in such a strong position, puts you in a great spot to finish that takedown.